Planners, art journals, art projects, organized planner chic.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. Well, first, I want to thank all my Patreon members who help make it possible to create videos like this. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. Okay, you guys, today I'm going to do a complete flip through of a completed traveler's notebook insert. And this is the one that I used specifically this whole past year for all of my travels and adventures, including traveling out of town, flying on a plane, going to museums, going to the Grand Canyon, etc. All right. Let's get to it. Okay, so here we go. Excuse me. All right, so this insert is a Peaky Dory Designs insert. It's an Etsy shop, and the shop owner is John Rush on YouTube. So check out John. He is my dear friend. I love him to death. And so this was originally, oh gosh, I can't remember. Oh, I think inside I can tell it was like a greenish color. I think it was the olive color option, but I covered it with some 12 by 12 craft paper and just trimmed around it and everything. This whole background part was one sheet. So this grid design was one 12 by 12 sheet of craft cardstock paper that came from a paper pad that was all about traveling and adventures. And then there was also a separate 12 by 12 sheet that had a bunch of different traveling type words in it, like travel, journal, adventure, etc. And so I just cut the words travel out and cut the venture and the adventure, and they both have definitions on there. And then I cut out another piece that was in there for a background, the airplanes. And then I just used some of that extra around the edges to make a better trim there. And I folded over the grid originally right here, and then I put that over the edge, that extra blue airplanes, and then this is just some washi tape. And I did the same sort of thing in the back also. So yeah, so here in the back I put the end, and there's the Peaky Dory Designs stamp right there. And then in the inside I put 2019 because, again, this insert is all about my travels well, not just travels, but travel, adventures, going to different things rather than just home and work. All right. And so I decided to go ahead and leave this title page that he has. I just think it looks really nice and neat. And I love the logo there. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Love this. And so this was a monthly calendar that was on 2 pages. You'll see that. And then there was a dot grid spread on the next couple of pages after that for each month. And so this is what I did. So in the very front, right after the title page, there is just a dot grid spread. And what I did is I put a big sticker. It was actually a printable from, gosh, now I'm not going to be able to remember her name. Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark is jordan.e.clark, I think, on Instagram. But on Patreon, I'm one of her patrons, and she provides a free printable. And this was a printable about road trips, and it had summer road trip, and I just added fall, winter, and spring since this was for the whole year. And I wrote all around it different words that had to do with travel. So I have journey, holiday, hike, travel, adventure, expedition, vacation, passage, trek, trip, excursion, and road trip. And then I just colored in between it with a Crayola super tip. Yeah, and all of the words there were in Crayola super tip colors as well. So I didn't have any trips planned in January, and this was not my primary planner, so I only decorated it and put some key dates in there. Okay, so got a lot of different fun decorations there. And then in the next spread, which of course is the dot grid, I put trips that were planned for the year. So I had, and I used this pretty sticker for just New Year's Day in January, but I had trips planned in March for my sororities regional conference in Dallas, Tulsa and Oklahoma City when my brother graduated with his Bachelor of Science in Nursing, to Colorado Springs in June, where my in-laws live, and in November, we didn't know the date, but so that wasn't planned at the beginning of the year, but I knew that I would be going back to Oklahoma when my mentor and sort of like an adopted dad, very important to me whenever he passed away. So that was November. And then December, my mom, my niece, and my son, well, my son comes home for the summer because he's a college student, but my mom and my niece are going to fly in for Christmas. So I wasn't going, but that was still an adventure for them to come. So that's not happened yet, but we are in December, so they'll be here in a few more days. And then were a couple of extra things that happened that weren't really planned. So we went to the Grand Canyon July 28th. I don't remember what day, I didn't mark it on here. My son and I went to the Phoenix Museum of Art, which I've been to several times. And then I left a blank space to write the date when I figured out that he and I also went to Superstition Mountain. All right. Okay. So here is what February looks like. No trips planned for this month, but I did decorate it. My birthday and my mom's birthdays are both in February, and my father's and one of my brothers is in January. And I love these cute little stickers. I got them from the 99-cent only store. I love llamas, so yeah, I was really happy to decorate with those. And then this was just what I did on that back page. That's my husband, Jeff and Lucy forever. Just did a little doodle and used some stickers. This was a packing checklist for when I went to my sororities conference in March. And so here was what I did there. So it was the 20th through the 24th. And so I put all my details and all my where I needed to be and what workshops I had to be at and all that kind of stuff. This is our, gosh, I can't even think of the word now, but that. And then I stayed in the Airbnb, and then the information for the hotel and all that good stuff is there. And then this is just more details of where I needed to be each day, what time, what the clothing requirements were, and all that kind of stuff with our colors. And then no travel in April. My brother's birthday is April the 4th. Can't remember, Easter was probably in April. Can't remember this year, but I did not put that date on here. But again, this wasn't my primary calendar. And then on the spread after that, I just used some of the stickers, and I used some of these going forward. Stickers that I got from a recollection sticker pack from Michael's. It had all these different weird holidays that you would never think of, and I just decorated with that and used some Crayola super tip markers to kind of color around it. Then I did go in May. That's when I went to my brother's graduation for his Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and I went to Dallas and Tulsa and Oklahoma City. His graduation was in Dallas, but my parents live in Tulsa, and I moved to Phoenix from Oklahoma City, where I lived for 14 years or longer. Yeah, and so that is how that spread looks. And then these are just some pictures of family and friends for when I went on that trip to Dallas, Tulsa, and Oklahoma City. And I got to see some of my wonderful friends. This is Mr. Hazley, who passed away in November, and my mentor B. And these are my friends. Oh, I love them so much. For our planner group that I was in Oklahoma City. So this is Daniela, or Danny, and this is John Rush. So again, check him out on YouTube. And this is one of my very best friends, Nawasa. And my niece, Shalia, she's in our sorority as well. That's my brother getting his Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and me loving on him. I was just covering up his kids there. And then I also got to visit my stepson and his daughter while I was in Oklahoma City, and their kids, and my old life group, which was my Bible study group from church in Oklahoma City. I met up with them, and Shayna, she was sort of like my adopted daughter there in Oklahoma City at our church, and my mom and Linda, who's been her friend and my friend my whole life. And then This sheet came from a insert that I got from Michael's that I didn't like very much, but I did like some of the things in there. So I kept this page, or added this page in here for, you know, travel logs. So it had favorite foods and best moment, favorite sites, and new friends. And then this, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, and me, my mom and my dad, and some more kids. And then in June, we went to, gosh, I'm shaking the table. Sorry about that. In June, my husband and I went to Colorado Springs. We have planned that trip for a year. It was the anniversary of my father-in-law passing away, and we were all getting together, the siblings and their spouses, to clean stuff out of the house and, you know, kind of have a family meeting about our trip to Hawaii that's coming this summer in June. And then this is how I decorated the spread for that. So I've got plane ticket stubs. This is the church my brother-in-law attends that we visited. It was a great message. This was, I picked up some grayscale Tombow brush markers while I was there, and I went to Michael's shopping with my niece. And then we celebrated my brother-in-law's birthday while we were there, and we got cake from, it's called Nothing Bundt Cakes, but I couldn't eat any of it because I'm vegan and it wasn't vegan. So yeah. And then this is July, and let's see, in July is when we went to the Grand Canyon, and we just drove. My son and my daughter was working a youth camp, so she went with the camp but not with us. But my son, my husband, and I drove early in the morning, and then we spent all day there. It was wonderful. And then we drove back that evening, and these are just some things I picked up while we were there. So I got some stickers. This one set of stickers is about the Desert View Watchtower. It was this tower there where you could look out from it and see an even better view of the canyon. But no matter where you were, the canyon was fabulous. It's just, if you've never been to the Grand Canyon, plan on going. There is nothing in the world like it. Nothing. We met people from all over the world, all amazed by this canyon, speaking all different languages. It's just incredible gift from God. And then in August, my son and I went to visit Superstition Mountain, which is a set of mountains here in Arizona toward Tempe, or past Tempe. And it's called Superstition Mountain because of the Lost Dutchman, which was some time ago. I don't know what year, sorry, I can't remember, who came to the mountains in the search for gold. And it said that he found the gold, but then sometime where he was leaving or something, he got lost. I have to look it up to get the story correct. But he got lost or never made it out, something. And everyone who's tried to go back and get the gold has never made it back. And the Native Americans in the area had warned people not to try to go up there because it's just not safe and no one ever makes it back. But there's a museum there that you can learn all about the Dutchman and all about the history, and there's also a movie set out there you can learn about as well that's had famous movies filmed there. And then we also went to the Phoenix Museum of Art, and I've been there several times, but it was my son's first time. It's a great museum, and we had a good time there. And then these are the two little things I put in here to represent those experiences. So this was for the Lost Dutchman Museum, and then this was for the Phoenix Museum of Art. And also, I think I mentioned in a video previously that you can get free tickets from all the different library systems here in the Phoenix Metro to go to these types of events for free. The Phoenix Museum of Art, the Superstition Mountain, tons of different things. I've gone to the Symphony 3 times for free. So you just get a pass, and it's good for 2 people, and it's really awesome. And then, let's see, September, nothing happened other than my daughter turned 21, which that was awesome for her. Not for me, my baby is 21. Oh my gosh, can't believe it. So yeah, and then on this spread, I just decorated it and used some different stickers from a different paper pad, recollections from Michael's, and just wrote verses 1 and 2 from Psalm 127 that says, unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it, and so forth and so on. And then, let's see, this is October, nothing, just my son's birthday, and I decorated this. I love decorating or doodling with pumpkins, so I did that there. I didn't do a lot of doodling in this insert at all because I do so much of that in my bullet journal and in other journals, but this is my travel journal, so I mostly, pasted stuff in. And I did do this doodle of a pumpkin in this spread. I love pumpkins and I love to doodle them. Don't know why I love it so much, but I do. And then this is November. So November is when I went back to Oklahoma City and Tulsa for Papa Hazley's funeral. And yeah, I mean, it's sad to see him go, especially passing away from Alzheimer's in his mid-80s, but it was also awesome that he loved God and that everyone loved him, and it was just a really special service. And so I wrote about the service in here, and then these were things that I doodled in my bullet journal, and then, or it was a insert from my Etsy shop, actually a mixed media insert from my Etsy shop, and then I scanned them and I created die cuts, and I just glued some of those die cuts in here when I talked about that experience. And so those are available in my Etsy shop. And then this is December, so my husband has had his birthday, so that's happened, and Ryan has flown in, and today is Thursday the 19th. So my mom and my niece arrive on the 24th, and they'll be staying with us through the 28th for Christmas, and so I'll be decorating those remaining pages as after they get here. And then that is it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All of my subscribers get an additional discount from my Organized Planner Chic Etsy shop, and that discount is in the comments below. And in my shop, I make vegan traveler's notebooks and traveler's notebooks accessories for all TNs, vegan or not, including inserts. I also make bullet journal title page art for the different months, and printable stickers, journaling cards, and a Fauxbonichi Weeks printable for making your own Fauxbonichi. Also, check me out on Instagram at Organized Planner Chic, where I post all of my creative ventures and adventures. Check out both of my Facebook groups. The one that's for everyone is called Organized Planner Chic Crew, and there we do giveaways and gift exchanges. And then the local one, if you live in the Phoenix area, is called Phoenix Planner Friends for Christ, and we meet in person once a month for lots of planner fun. And if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, just go to patreon.com/organizedplannerchic. And until next time, happy planning!